So today we are making cevapi, and you're probably wondering why I'm dressed in white and why I'm so tight. That's because to show to people when you eat cevapi you become lean, mean fighting machine. And that is what it is about. Healthy food, healthy living. So we have of ingredients. We have ground beef, 85% lean. Shouldn't be 80 or 90, should be 85% lean. Otherwise, it's not gonna work. Too little fat, gets too dry, too much fat, it's just burning, on the grill, so.
Note to public, 4 pounds, 85%.
Yeah, 4 pounds here, but I just do things per pound, so it doesn't really matter. Then we have a sea salt. Alessi, it's a sea salt. No regular salt, no kosher salt, no weird salt. It's a sea salt, key ingredient. We have pepper, we have baking soda, we have few cloves of garlic. Nice fresh garlic, no elephant garlic, we have 2 filters, coffee filters, bowl, garlic crusher, water and measuring cups. I don't really measure, but for this presentation I'm gonna do measuring, so people get better reference. Okay, so preparing the water, garlicky water. Putting the water in the bowl and crushing the garlic into the water. I usually put about one clove of garlic, per pound of meat. And you can put less, you can put more, it's all of desires, Okay, that's a lot of garlic. The best thing is, if you can actually let it set for about hour or a couple hours, for this water to pick up the smell, and pick up all the juices. So after garlic was sitting, for about half an hour, hour or 2 hours, depends how much time you have, you carefully take the filter out, so that will only leave the garlicky water, and there will be no garlic left inside. Well, maybe like a little bit left, but it's not the end of the world, if it does. It's important to have clean hands, so I washed mine a couple days ago, so we are fine. Okay, so now we are going to put salt. I use about 3/4 tablespoon per pound of meat. It looks like it is a lot, but it's not. Actually, this is half table, but it's half tablespoon, so I really make it really full. And I think I may add a little bit extra, so I have 4 pounds, so this is 3. This is gonna be 4. Okay, so that's about 4 times 3/4 of the tablespoon. I definitely wouldn't, different salts are different saltiness, but I definitely wouldn't go for less than a half a tablespoon, Now let's put some pepper. Yes, so 1/4 tablespoon on 4 pounds. Pepper it's good to put a lot of pepper, but it's, it's not critical. Okay, the baking soda, I put very little. I put between my fingers. I clean it up, and then just what is left on my fingers, it goes there. It's just tiny bit of it.
Just a trace.
Yeah.
Go.
Now adding garlicky water. I will be adding roughly, let's say, 1/4 cup per pound of meat. And this is 3 or 4 now? 3. Yeah, about this is good. It looks like it is a lot of water, but it's actually not. So now I'm ready to do. Now I'm gonna go to the kitchen sink. I'm gonna mix it in the kitchen sink. Yeah, I don't want to mess on the table. Okay, so we are ready to mix, and now just use your hands. You can see everything is soaked in water, but as you work it out, it's not going to be messy. And the good thing about the water, meat doesn't stick to your hands.
So should you get your hands wet before you start, or just rely on the water there?
Yeah, you can. Oh, I mean, you can wash off your hands always. You know, there is never hurts. You know, to rinse your hands out of it. So really mix it up well. You know. And okay, so if meat sticks to your hands, just put under the faucet, you know, just to give it a quick, you know, just give it like a tiny bit of water if it sticks, and then you just keep mixing, and as long as your hands are wet enough, you know, meat won't stick very much, you know, to them. Okay, so now when it is all mixed up, I'll just cover it and let it set in the cold place, you know, for an hour, probably for an hour, and then I'm gonna remix it again before I shade them into cevapi. So meat has been sitting for an hour. Now I'm ready to remix it and to fold cevapi. So I'm gonna add just a tiny bit of water more so my hands don't stick. You know, I saved, you know, that garlicky water for that purpose, so I'm just going to remix it. So as I'm mixing, you know, if the hand sticks, if meat sticks to the hand, just use your garlicky water, or just if you do it, you know, in the sink, you know, just the faucet water, so that meat wouldn't be sticking. When you are done with this, then again, wet your hands and start folding your cevapi. I kind of get a fistful. Can you get a close up of this? This is kind of what I roughly make the size of it. I just kind of prepare roughly several of them, and then I
Hold it.
so maybe approximately, you know, to fit in my hand. You know, I make them just like a rough balls. You know, kind of, and then I'm gonna go and make them shade them up. So here I have a pile of roughly made cevapi. So now what I'm doing, you know, again, I wet my hand just a little bit, grab one, roll it, and put it in the container. Roll it.
Can we get a close up on one of them when they're done?
Yeah, you can, can make a close up.
Okay, we're gonna go in from the top.
Okay, so here they are. This is what they look like. They have to be pretty thick. If they are not thick enough, they are going to get dry. So now the length is, you know, really what you like, you know, but they need to be thick, pretty thick. They will shrink a lot, you know, during the barbecuing. Now, making cevapi. It goes fairly fast, but you need to make a lot of them, you know, to be worth the effort, you know, because it kind of takes a while, you know, to cook and do it. So these are rolled up cevapi. I made 50 cevapi from 4 pounds of meat. So now this is going to the fridge, and the best way is really to just roll them, you know, night before cooking, so they stay overnight. But you know, if there is not enough time, you know, you can just leave it in the fridge, you know, for 3-4 hours. I don't know, as much time as you have. But the thing is, you know, if you don't wait long enough and you put them on the hot fire, they may actually they may be very dry, you know, because you will see a lot of steam coming out of them. All right, so going to the fridge.
Go.
So cevapi were waiting for 5 hours in the fridge, and I take them about maybe half an hour or maybe hour before cooking, so they take on the room temperature. I don't want to put them too cold on the grill. So, okay, so I put cevapi, you know, while the plate is not too hot. You know, I put usually when it's about 300 degrees. So,
oh, this smells so good.
It doesn't stick, you know, very much. And if I put it on too hot, you know, they're gonna be sticking, you know. But this way, you know, I kind of give them a little bit room, you know, to just kind of change color, and I can easily change, you know, turn them around. And at first I cook them a little bit slower, and then later on, you know, I'll probably speed up a little bit, you know, and yeah, it'll look good. This is already turning good.
Oh, they're good. They smell so good already. Okay, we're gonna stop.
So I made the first check after 5 minutes, the second check is after 10 minutes. So this is what they look like after I turn them the second time. Yeah, they're mostly dry, you know, they're kind of brown on all sides, but they're not done inside yet. It's, you know, basically every 5 minutes I'm checking. I'm not really messing with them very much. After 20 minutes I crack one open, break one and see, you know, if it is brown inside, you know, it's good, you know. It's actually sometimes I like, you know, if it is a little bit reddish inside, you know, but this time, you know, it seems to be well cooked, you know, so they look good. Just need to put pita on top of it to warm up, and they are almost done. 20 to 25 minutes, you know, to really have them done. So after 20 minutes, you know, I covered them with pita bread, which was coming from the freezer. So now they're gonna warm up, you know, and that's about it. So now they're finished, I'm lining up, you know, with warm pita and putting them in on the pitas, you know, to release juice on the pita.
There we go. A little closer shot of the. Here's the cevapi. Yum, yum. They smell so good, honey.
I'm glad, you know, that they're not...
Do you need help?
So now they are in the pan. We are covering them, you know, with pita, you know, to keep them warm. All right.
Voila.
Going to the table. I'm setting my empty grill on high to burn off, you know, so it's cleaned up, you know, for the next time. So burning up for the next time, I just scrubbed it with the brush, and all the grease fell on the hot on the plate. And now it's gonna be really clean for next time. I'm gonna turn it off so that fire will finish the job. So they are best served on the pita, and on the pita with onion, you know, so warm, you know, warm cevapi will pick up juice, you know, from onions. Some people like it with sour cream, like Mrs. present here, and so Mrs. has a big mess on her plate. She likes it like that.
I just spilled a little.
And, you know, some people also like beer, like Mrs.
I like beer with
and
it.
Mrs. Ellis. Yep, there you go. So what do you think?
It's like pizza, or one of those foods that you're supposed to have
Pizza?
beer with.
Yeah, okay.
It's one of those foods you're supposed to have beer
So what do you
with.
think? Is it good or how does it taste?
I already stole one. Yeah, it tasted really good.
Alright.
I don't even have to take a bite. I know it tastes good.
So this is not exactly aphrodisiac, you know, if you're going on the first day, but if you're already in love, it's gonna make your bond even stronger. So that's it. Enjoy.